I'm going to go off camera for a second.
Okay. Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing? It's been a long time no see since New Year's Eve, but welcome.
Hey, so good to be here.
Hey, Christy. I've got Christy with me, and DWAP was supposed to be joining us. I just sent him the link, so we can give a few minutes for that, a couple seconds.
Okay. I'm still getting my chair set up here so I can put my camera on.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, look at hey guys. I've missed you guys. I've been a little busy the past few days, but I'm here. I've missed you. Can you guys hear me okay? My audio's all right. Mind sharing the affidavit PDF link. Shoot the moon. I definitely will put that in the description of the video when we're done. Good. All right. So I hope everybody had a great Monday. Monday. I just actually got back from the beach where I watched a rocket launch from Cocoa Beach, which I'm on clear on the other side of the state, and I could still see it. Itty bitty. I can itty bitty see it. Hi, Melissa. We're missing you up here, Melissa, tonight.
Yes,
we are. I can always drop you a link, Melissa. Melissa B.
If DWAP bailed, I don't know. He's not here yet. We need more people.
Yeah, she's. Oh, he's here. He just hopped on.
Oh, sweet.
Let me add him in. What's up, D-Wop?
What up? Look at you all on camera and stuff.
I know. I think I got a little challenge from Christy today to go on camera.
Uh-oh.
So I did it. I took the challenge. I took the bait. But I just got back. I was just telling everybody, I just got back from the beach. I watched a rocket launch. I'm on the other side of the state from Cocoa Beach, but I could see it was like itty bitty, but you could still see it. It was cool.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. So
well, you got the affidavit pulled up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I hear there's a lot of info in this, and Christy has some extra info she sent over my way right before we went live. I was like, "What is this? Is this new stuff? This is extra stuff, I guess." So we're gonna look at that too. But did you read through all of these pages, D-Wop?
I haven't read them. No, that's why I was gonna. I mean, I've read like sections of it, and I've looked at all the hot sections. You know, there's a lot of info in there. You should. I mean,
do we want to kind of skim over it? Because that's a lot of reading.
I know. So a lot of people there's section 23 through or 26 or something is about the identification of her coming out of the car. There's identification of, her 60 to 70%, her being they have phone pings of her there. They have video footage of a car that looks like her car at 9 o'clock in the morning there. Some of the info about the testimony from the dad people are catching on, which is about when she was in the inside the labor room when Margot was born. People think that for sure there's a second person because the witness states that Magen got out of the passenger side of the vehicle, and that car doesn't really lend itself to sliding through the car to get out on the passenger side. So there, a lot of that info is in that affidavit. It says that Chris says that she went to the beach with her cousin. So then the obvious question is, did he see her in the car with the cousin, or is he just saying something that she told him? you know.
Mm.
So-
Okay, so do you think that maybe, I mean, what do you want to do? Do you want to go through and like
my
the
audio.
three of us
Hold on.
read it, or what do you guys think? I
Well,
mean, I'm scrolling through it, and I want to hear a lot of these details.
well, then read it. Start
All right.
reading. When
All
you
right.
get tired, somebody will take over. Christy can take over.
If my mouth gets really dry, though, I'm gonna have to pass it off to Christy.
Pass it off to Christy.
Okay. So I'm gonna make this bigger so everybody can see it too. And I don't know if there's a link to this because
Did I send you the PDF, right?
you sent me a file, and people are in chat, I think, we're asking for a link. So maybe if there is a link, I can put it.
I can put the file and put a link up pretty quickly.
Oh, if you can do that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have the original PDF right here, so I'll just add it up to my Gmail real quick or my Google Drive, and then we can just give people a downloadable link.
Yeah, and then I can put it in the description, and you can grab it from there too.
Yep.
I'll put it in there afterwards. All right, so we have, let's see, the affidavit for warrant of arrest and detention. So here it says, I have good reason to believe and do believe that Fieramusca, Magen Rose, white female, date of birth 1/13/86, on or about December 12th, 2019, Austin, Travis County, Texas, did then and there commit the crime offense of kidnapping, third-degree felony. I feel like we just had someone join. Oh, we lost Christy.
Okay.
She said,
Sorry,
I'm not
audio. I had to
reading.
go out.
She's like, I'm not reading.
I know. I'm like, where'd she go? I'm like, so number one says you're affiant. Detective B. Harris, number 5641, is an investigator assigned to the Austin Police Department Cold Case Missing Person Unit. As a result of this assignment, your affiant is responsible for investigating incidents involving missing persons and persons who have been taken or held against their will, which is commonly referred to by the offense title code kidnapping. On Tuesday, December 12th, 2019, your affiant was operating in an on-call status and received a message to contact Austin Police Department. Officer Parker, I'm going to skip all that. Upon making contact with Officer Parker, your affiant was told the following. Officer Parker had been dispatched to a call for service regarding a missing adult female, Heidi Broussard, a white female born 6/15/86, and her 2-week-old newborn, who was fully identified in Austin Police Department report and will hereafter be referred to as her newborn child. The complainant was Shane Carey, who was the boyfriend of Heidi. I hear kind of a echo.
I just killed it for 2 seconds. Okay. I went on your thing. Am I a mod? No, I'm not a mod in your group. I can't put up a link. So never mind. Give me a wrench for 2 seconds.
Okay. I didn't.
In YouTube, and I can put up a link to this affidavit.
Right, hold on. I gotta go into YouTube.
Oh, because your mods can't give me a wrench, huh?
No, unfortunately, they can't.
I think Jen was saying she was going to add the link to the video at the end here.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I could just do that instead of logging in. All right. So where was I?
Where can I share it to you? I can't.
Text it. Go ahead and text it.
Oh,
yeah. Then I can put
the
it up.
affidavit.
Yeah. I'll get onto Google Drive on my phone and text it. I've just loaded it to my Google Drive.
All right. Okay. The complainant was Shane Carey, who is the boyfriend of Heidi, with whom they share 2 children, newborn child and a 6-year-old child. Shane Carey, Heidi Broussard, and both children live together in an apartment at 744 West William Cannon Drive in Austin, Travis County, Texas. Shane Carey has cooperated with the Austin Police Department in investigating the disappearance of Heidi Broussard and her newborn child. Shane Carey provided an initial statement to Austin police detectives on Friday, December 13th, 2019, at the Austin Police Department South Substation. That conversation was voluntary in nature and was recorded using a fixed digital audio and video recording system. Shane Carey spoke with Detective B. Harris of the Austin Police Department, Detective Metcalf of the Austin Police Department, Detective Faithful of the Austin Police Department, and Special Agent Jay Bailey of the FBI during the continuing investigation. Conversations were collected on body-worn cameras or fixed digital audio and video recording systems in interview rooms. Shane Carey stated that he last saw Heidi Broussard and the newborn child in person that day, December 12, 2019, at approximately 6:30 a.m. Shane Carey woke for work and saw Heidi and the children before he left for work at a moving company in North Austin. Shane Carey advised that Heidi Broussard would ready the children for the day, then take the 6-year-old child to school at Cohen Elementary. I reviewed images captured by surveillance cameras at Cohen Elementary. Heidi Broussard can be seen entering and exiting the school on surveillance cameras provided by the Austin Independent School District with the newborn child. Based on video evidence, Heidi Broussard left the school at approximately 8:12 a.m. with the newborn child. And that was the video, like the still shot that we saw, right? Of her in the purple sweater that was at the school.
Right.
Okay. Shane Carey and Heidi Broussard spoke on the phone at approximately 8:30 a.m. regarding dropping the child off at school, a conversation that was confirmed by a consent search of Shane Carey's phone. Shane Carey stated that he did not speak with Heidi Broussard the rest of his workday. Shane Carey got off at work at approximately 1:50 p.m. and called Heidi Broussard. The phone call was not answered and went to voicemail. Just hearing that, like that's awful. Like to think, like he's probably thinking to himself, I didn't talk to her the rest of the day. And then, I was probably the first one to call and she didn't answer. Like just having that thought, you know what I mean?
It was the first day, like
right.
He was away, she was by herself.
Right. The first day she was off on her own with the baby.
Yeah. Her mom had left, and so, yeah, there's going to be a little bit of pain in his,
yeah.
In that sense that
those moments. Yeah. Those last moments.
And this shortens up that time frame a little bit too, from what he had said on his initial interviews that were on the media, is that he got off work at 1:50, and then the next line, which I know you haven't read yet, it says that he arrived at the apartments at 2:50. So that's an hour later.
Yeah.
So as opposed to, I think he said he got home about 2:00 previously. So this is tightens that time frame a little bit too.
Okay, so Shane Carey arrived in the parking lot of their apartment complex at 744 West William Cannon at approximately 2:50 p.m. on December 12, 2019. Right, so that's that hour. Shane Carey noticed that Heidi Broussard's vehicle, a white 2012 Honda Fit bearing Texas license plate LGX 3698, was parked in the parking lot of their apartment complex. Shane Carey found the front door to be unlocked. Shane Carey stated that the apartment was not in disarray and that nothing inside the apartment appeared to be out of the ordinary. Neither Heidi Broussard nor the newborn child were in the apartment, according to Shane Carey. Shane Carey believed that Heidi Broussard and the newborn child were possibly visiting another apartment in the complex or were at the park. Shane Carey realized as the day progressed that their elementary-age child needed to be picked up from after-school activities. Shane Carey went to pick up the child at approximately 5:50 p.m., thinking that Heidi Broussard would be there as well. Shane Carey waited until after 6. Heidi Broussard did not arrive to pick up their child. Shane Carey returned to the apartment with their elementary-age child. Neither Heidi Broussard or the newborn child were at the apartment. Shane Carey went to Heidi Broussard's 2012 Honda Fit bearing Texas license plate, blah, 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 was in the parking lot of their apartment complex and found the vehicle to be unlocked. Shane Carey stated that it was unusual to him that the vehicle was unlocked. Shane Carey looked inside the vehicle and observed Heidi Broussard's red purse inside the unlocked vehicle. Shane Carey looked in the purse and observed Heidi Broussard's wallet. All personal items, cash, credit cards, debit cards, and ID appeared to be present inside the wallet. Shane Carey stated that the newborn child had jaundice when discharged from the hospital. Shane Carey stated that he and Heidi Broussard had to supplement breast milk with formula due to the jaundice. All necessities for caring for a newborn child remain in the apartment, including, but not limited to, diapers, formula, clothing, wipes, bedding, car safety seating, and accessories. All apparent forms of financial means for Heidi Broussard appear to be inside Heidi Broussard's wallet, which was left in her vehicle. The only items of note missing from her apartment or vehicle are Heidi's iPhone 11 and her keys.
He's done, man. They got that iPhone 11. They know every step that thing took.
Everything, huh?
They know every step that thing took.
Wow.
They pinged it.
do,
They
but
even did it.
unfortunately,
Yeah,
they did ping it, but it was only those 48 hours that they got
Yeah.
the warrant for, and it didn't register any pings
Yeah.
in that 48 hours. And that was from about 5 o'clock Friday night until I believe like 5 o'clock Sunday night. So wherever it wasn't turned on or
But Megan
used
didn't
after
turn
that
hers
time.
off. Yeah, but Megan didn't turn hers off. And that's
Correct.
So like they pinged the hell out of
So they didn't get them together, DWAP, like they did Patrick and Kelsey's phones.
Never placed them
Correct.
together. And but they placed her, they got her lying on where she's at though later. I mean, it's fun. It's fun to see how they use that technology to they knew her story before they even asked the question.
Right.
You know? And
Yeah,
so
it's crazy.
they caught her in that lie of I wasn't in Austin, but her phone was pinging in Austin.
Right. Christy, do you want to take over and do this page?
Sure.
Do you have it pulled up? Okay,
Yeah,
number 10.
We're on number 10, yeah. So Shane Carey described Heidi Broussard's iPhone 11 as being black in color and in a red, white, and blue tie-dye case. And the keys was 3 to 4 keys on a key ring with a Honda chip car key, and 1 key with blue tape on it. The location of Heidi is unknown at this time. So I think they were writing this up, it sounds like previously. They're saying her location is unknown. Well, this was to get Magen arrested. At the time of her disappearance, Heidi did not take the necessary items to reasonably care for a 2-week-old newborn for an extended period of time when she departed the apartment. Heidi does not possess the necessary means to reasonably and legally travel inside of a vehicle with a 2-week-old newborn, such as an infant car seat and base. It is of note that both car seats possessed by Shane Carey and Heidi Broussard are in the apartment or Heidi's vehicle. Shane stated that Heidi would not abandon her family, especially her elementary-age child. And on December 17th, so that's 5 days later, the detective also spoke with initials VS, adult female, who also has known Heidi for approximately 10 years. And VS stated that Heidi also would not abandon her elementary-age child. And that's a lot of what we heard from Caressa, that there is no way that Heidi would have left her little boy, her 6-year-old little boy. Shane began to call friends and family in the area to attempt to locate Heidi and the newborn child without success on December 12th. Shane called Austin PD at approximately 7:31 p.m. to report Heidi and the baby missing. Responding officers conducted a deliberate search of the area of the apartment and contacted members of Heidi's friend and family group, and also conducted a reverse 911 calling 4,000 residents in the immediate area of the apartment, and released the names and images of Heidi and the baby to the media, all without locating Heidi or the baby. So that's interesting too, that they also did a reverse 911. So 4,000 people in the vicinity of these apartments received notification that there was a missing mother and her baby.
Wow.
And so your affiant research, the affiant is the detective. The detective researched the Heidi's phone number through Zetx.com, Zetx.com, which is an online tool that will identify the carrier and registered name associated with the phone number. The number was registered to Shane Carey and the service provider of T-Mobile. The detective contacted law enforcement liaison for T-Mobile and confirmed that T-Mobile does provide service to the number, and the phone was shown to be on and active. So it was an active phone. They verified all that. So then they went to get the warrant to get the information on the phone. So it says, per T-Mobile policy, they were directed to complete this extingent form and return the completed form to T-Mobile. They did this, and a surveillance order with an emergent addendum was sworn to by the detective and presented to the Travis County judge, Kosrek, and who reviewed the order and approved the document with her signature. An emergency ping of Heidi's phone began at approximately 4:56 p.m. on Friday, December 13th, and ran continuously for 48 hours until the afternoon of Sunday, December 15th. The continuous ping of Heidi's phone was requested to indicate any location data associated with the use of the cellular device. The data was updated and sent at 15-minute intervals for 48 hours. There was no location data reported for 48 hours of the requested emergency ping, indicating that the target phone was not in use. So whatever information that Magen got off of Heidi's phone, she had not turned that on as of Friday afternoon. And, you know, going back again to talking with Caressa said it was very odd that Heidi had called her because Heidi didn't have her number. And she was wondering, how did she get her number?
You mean Magen?
And Magen, sorry. I keep saying the names backwards. Sorry. Yeah. So Magen did not have Caressa's number. And so Caressa was wondering, like, how did
Yeah, we kind of put that together that night. Like, oh my God, she had her phone.
So
she got her
we
number.
know that we know she had that phone on for at least a little while because that's how she got all of Heidi's friends' numbers and started contacting them and creating this whole, you know, network of yes, exactly.
It was interesting too to see, well, unless she turned it on after the 48 hours. So they ran it from the 13th to the 15th.
Yeah.
So for that 48 hours, or she got everything on the 12th and then destroyed the phone or got rid of the phone on the same day.
Well, we know she texted herself, right?
Right. Yeah. That morning she texted herself. Well, she claimed she texted herself. That's what she told Heidi's other friends. That's what she told Caressa. Oh yeah, I got a text from Heidi at 8:23 this morning. It may have been completely fabricated.
It could have been fabricated, or it could have been a totally different text, not necessarily about breastfeeding, but maybe, you know, who knows?
What time did she, is there a time frame on that?
I want to say Magen said around 8:30, but I don't know if it's in here like definitive.
At 9 o'clock, we're going to find out that she was in the apartment complex. So if it was at 8:30 in the morning, it may have been that text, which then
like, hey, I'm in the area or something like
who
that.
knows? Yeah, the back and forth between them.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see, huh?
Because she rolls in at 9 o'clock, and they did a backlog on. See, the difference between what they did with Heidi's phone and what they have done with Megan's phone is they actually did a backlog on Megan's phone, and they confirmed they went and looked at all her dates all the way back to the 20s when the baby was born, December 27th, because they talk about having, you know, her phone pings in Austin and her, you know, to confirm different things. And so it'll be interesting. They didn't release too much information except that she was there on the 12th. Where she went afterwards, there's some gaps in between. We know they have all those gaps via the phone pings. So it'll be interesting to see if she went straight home, like if she went straight home on because the Chris tells the story that she's there on the 12th, or that she got home on the 12th and on the 13th, or, you know, right there, the 12th, 13th. Yeah, I came home on the 13th, but like she left on the 12th to go to the beach and came home on the 13th. And she said,
well, let's go ahead and get into the rest of that as we read
it goes down.
So then it goes on to, according to Shane, Magen Fieramusca, also known as Magen Humphrey, so they actually have her name spelled the other way here, Maygen, and Heidi had been friends since attending the Texas Bible Institute in Columbus, Texas, approximately 10 years ago. Magen Fieramusca and Heidi Broussard speak on the phone regularly. So this is what information Shane had done in his interview. According to Shane, Magen and Heidi became pregnant around the same time in 2019. Both expectant mothers were due in late 2019. Shane stated that he saw Magen visibly pregnant in person, and Magen held her hands to her apparent pregnant stomach, appearing to support the weight of her unborn child. Shane reported that Heidi and Magen had spoken about the possibility of delivering on the same day. Sorry. So this goes on, the possibility of delivering the same day. This is all part of Megan's ruse, where she made the baby registry giving the exact same due date that Magen had. or that Heidi had. Magen made her registry the same due date as Heidi. On November 25th, Heidi's water broke early in the morning, and Shane and Heidi went to the St. David's South Austin Hospital for medical treatment in anticipation of childbirth. Magen was alerted to the impending delivery. On November 26th, Magen drove from her home in Houston to the area of South Austin while she herself was approximately 37 weeks pregnant. The afternoon of August 26, Heidi and Shane gave Magen a key to Heidi and Shane's apartment from Heidi's keyring. So Heidi did not have her key at that time. Austin PD's Levine and Wind spoke with SD, who is a nurse at the South Austin Hospital, who is fully identified in the report. Nurse SD overheard Heidi and Magen conversing about Magen being 37 weeks pregnant, which again is a little odd because supposedly she was due a week later, which would have made her 39 weeks. So, her numbers aren't adding up of, her different times of when she was saying she was supposed to be having this baby.
Right.
Shane reported that Heidi delivered her newborn child on November 26th. The following people were in the room when Heidi delivered: Shane, V.S., an adult female, and Magen Fieramusca. Additional family members entered the room after the birth. The newborn child was first held by Heidi, then by Shane, and then by V.S., and then by Shane's father. So I'm going to stop right here. Just because Caressa did tell us that her mom was in the delivery room, I think V.S. is probably her mom. I think that's Caressa's mom, and so Caressa and her sister have been friends with Heidi for many, many years, and Heidi would spend holidays with their family. So immediately after Shane's father was handed his grandchild, Magen interjected herself and asked to hold the newborn.
Hey, what number is that? What number is that one?
21.
21.
Gotcha.
Stating, so Magen, interjected herself and took the baby, saying she had to leave, is what this is saying. And Shane's father was surprised by the actions of Magen Fieramusca, and that his first introduction and time with his grandchild was interrupted by this friend of Heidi's.
Wow. So she was anxious to hold that baby. So she sat there while Heidi held the baby, Shane held the baby, VS held the baby.
And it was Grandpa's turn, and she couldn't stand it anymore.
Right. She couldn't take it anymore.
She had to go. I got to go. Let me hold the baby. Wow. I got to go. Let me hold the baby.
Yeah. And enough for his dad to be like, that's a little disturbing, like rude,
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So obviously they talked to him too, Shane's dad, because they have his information here, what he had to say about it, how he felt. And then Magen left the hospital no more than 1 hour after Heidi delivered her baby. So that's they passed that baby around and she was gone within an hour.
That's pretty quick.
That quick. That's very quick. I mean, that first hour, I don't think anybody held my babies except for me.
Yeah, that's pretty quick to pass it around like that. Well, and for her to interject herself above family at that point,
Oh, yeah. And it says, okay, so then the next thing says, then Magen returned to Heidi and Shane's apartment where she stayed until November 27th. So she was in a rush to get out of there, but then she went to their apartment and stayed there till the next day. Like, that's odd. What was she doing? What was going on?
Little planning, little scheming, little getting the lay of the land, understanding it. Yeah,
right, coming up with a plan.
Yep. She had already fed this whatever sickness was happening. She was on her way to doing this.
Her plan was rolling. She'd been working on this plan and it was rolling. So it says, then she returned to Houston, and it states that she drives a gray 2015 Nissan 4-door with a Texas license plate, and then that's been redacted.
The funny thing is they didn't redact them all. Keep reading. They give her it was like whoever went through and redacted the license plate skipped a few paragraphs and left it in.
And
It's
that's,
like-
I love those snafus.
you always see that, and when they have these large documents that are redacted, they always miss stuff. But,
They missed phone numbers. They missed a lot. Well, some
Yeah.
of the phone numbers, I don't think they cared. But when I was reading it earlier, they redacted it once, and then the next paragraph was like, "Oh, well, there's her license plate. There it is." It don't
Yeah.
matter now. She ain't gonna be needing that license plate anymore. I promise you.
Nope.
So-
She might be making some license plates. Just saying. Just saying.
I think she
Yeah.
might be.
So then it says Megan's license plate was captured on a stationary license plate reader operated by Giddings, Texas Police Department, traveling between Houston and Austin. The data confirms that the vehicle operated by Megan was traveling in the direction of Austin on August 26th. So that's, they're double, triple verifying that yes, she was there when Margot was born.
Mm-hmm.
And Shane reported that on December 8th or 9th, he learned from Heidi that Megan delivered a baby girl. And Shane did not see any photographs of of the child. So 3-4 days before.
3-4 days later, she had the baby.
Yeah, so December 8th or 9th. And I think, trying to look at my calendar here, because it was a week after. That lines up with exactly what Caressa said, because she said it was Heidi had her baby, and then it was 2 weeks later that.
Oh, it was that
supposedly.
long.
Yeah. Even though she had said her due date was the 1st.
Oh, okay,
it was all
I
jumping
gotcha.
around. So the baby was born a week later.
I think what she needed to do there is she needed to establish. She was trying to establish with people that my baby's born and Heidi's baby's born and everything's fine. Like this was like part of her plan. Like I've had my baby, you have your baby, we both have babies now, and this was prior to.
Well, and she did it only a couple days because she, of course, Megan knew what was going to be happening. She knew that Heidi's mom was there. She knew, I'm sure, when Heidi's mom was going to be leaving. So this was all strategic, I think.
Yeah.
Where she's like, okay, so she's saying her baby was born about the 8th or 9th, knowing that Heidi's mom was leaving the 10th, and she was then going to put her plan into action so that she didn't have too long of a period of time to delay showing pictures. Because everybody wants to see pictures of the baby.
Yeah, what's crazy though is then she tells Chris different though. So yeah, she just didn't have her story. I mean, at that point,
she knows Chris isn't talking to any of those.
He ain't talking. Too, yeah, he's hiding. He doesn't know him. And it's just like there's not going to be a way she's going to be able to keep this straight. There's no way.
Right. And it starts to fall apart. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it fell apart when she came up with this plan. It
was unraveling from the beginning. So then we get into people who saw Megan's car there. It said a resident of 744 West William Cannon Drive, the same complex in which Heidi and Shane live, had installed video cameras on the exterior of his residence. The tenant of the apartment with the exterior cameras provided voluntary consent for Austin PD to view the recordings from the cameras. One of the cameras captured the parking lot and has the capability of capturing vehicles as they pass in the lot. Video captured on the exterior cameras shows a light-colored four-door vehicle with the outlined window placement and general appearance consistent with Megan's vehicle, driving northbound towards the rear of the complex at approximately 9:05 a.m. on December 12th. Shane and Heidi's apartment is at the rear of the complex. So 9:05 is when she entered the lot.
Yeah. So that would be interesting to know that text time. Her text.
It was what she told Caressa was 8:23. Megan told Caressa that Heidi texted her at 8:23. Okay. But at this point, anything that Megan claims is, until we have the actual evidence, is very suspect.
Yeah, it'd just be interesting if it was the flip side where Megan texted her, or if she initiated the conversation with Megan at around that time, and she's sitting in the parking lot, or she's about to get to the parking lot.
Because there's a lot of times there's always a little bit of truth. When somebody tells a lie, there's pieces of truth in there. So there might have been some kind of text communication around that time.
Yeah, for sure.
So then on December 18th, so now we're talking 6 days after, on December 18th, M.W., an adult female, provided a statement to detectives. The statement was captured on audio and video systems, and M.W. stated that on December 11th or 12th, she was driving through the rear of the complex at 744 West William Cannon. M.W. stated that she saw a four-door vehicle believed to be light in color stopped in the parking lot perpendicular to the provided parking spaces. So you got your parking spaces, and she just pulled up alongside the back of some of the vehicles. And M.W. stated that she saw a white adult female walk from between buildings 7 and 8 toward the vehicle parked perpendicular to the parking spaces. The female was carrying a small infant who was wearing a knit cap. That's for some reason that just hits me. You know, it's here she is, mom walking with her baby with a knit cap. That little detail is.
And you can just picture those little newborn hats, you know.
The adult female carrying the small infant walked toward the vehicle, and M.W. saw a female exit the front passenger seat and greet the adult female who was carrying the infant. The front seat passenger opened the rear passenger side door of the vehicle. So we're on the passenger side. So front driver's side, or front passenger side front seat gets out and opens the back door in the passenger side.
Okay,
and
so they actually wait. Let me stop you for a sec.
Yeah.
So they actually saw someone get out of the front seat.
Yes.
And open the door for Heidi and the baby.
Yeah, they identified it. This is where they gave this info that they had.
So is there any, I mean, so there really isn't, so that really isn't, couldn't be like mistaken testimony, I wouldn't think, would you?
What do you mean mistaken testimony?
You know, that's pretty specific. It's
like
specific.
A witness. You know how witnesses are wrong sometimes, and they think they see something they didn't. You know, witnesses aren't 100% accurate, but this sounds pretty damn accurate. The fact that they didn't say, "Oh, we just saw someone sitting in the front seat." They actually got out and opened the door. So that's
you mean
like that's more like legitimately that there was a second person there. You know, because sometimes you might you see a head.
There is an article that Michelle, I don't know if you saw that from Michelle. It says Austin police confirmed last week that they arrested a person linked to Broussard's death on the same charges as Fieramusca, but declined to release the person's identity, citing the ongoing investigation.
Yeah, the question is how old is the cousin? If the cousin is if Chad sees the cousin go to the beach with her on the 12th, if the cousin is a minor, there could be a reason why they're not releasing that info. It also could be that person has completely turned on Magen. The only reason you wouldn't release info in an arrest like this is that if they were going to turn state's witness, because then they're going to protect them as much as they can. You know, the speculation could go, but and they don't have to give word for word MW's testimony. They just have to give enough to get Magen arrested, because they're trying to get her arrested and use this information, because this is on the 18th. So they're talking to this lady on the 18th, which is just the day before they arrest Magen. And so they're trying to get and the lady says she's 60 or 70% here in a second, but they're just trying to get enough info on this affidavit. This is Magen's arrest affidavit. It'd be interesting to see what that other woman or the other person's arrest affidavit says, you know, but they're not gonna. I think
they're not releasing any of that right now.
Yes, because they weren't even going to release this. So they sealed the case, and they actually sealed it for 30 days. And the fact that they released this, it was just like a little teaser, a little flavor to appease the media, appease the public, because there's still a lot of information that they haven't released.
Well, and there's some more that I have here that when we get through this affidavit that is a little bit more eye-opening as well.
Yeah, go for it. You want to keep reading?
Yeah, the adult female. Okay, so she entered the rear passenger seat Both doors closed and the vehicle drove away. MW stated that there was not time for the adult female to secure the infant into any type of child restraint system before the vehicle drove away. MW turned from the main lane of the parking lot and saw the four-door vehicle driving towards the exit to South First. So they hopped in and they took off. It wasn't like they were, in a casual, let's take our time, whatever. And Megan wasn't planning to go anywhere because she didn't lock the door. She didn't have anything with her.
Well,
So
I think she was.
You mean Heidi? You mean Heidi?
I think Heidi. I think this was a coffee thing. I think Megan texted her. She had this communication and said, "Hey, we're in the area. Let us pick you up for coffee. Grab the baby and come down." Because Heidi jumps in the back of the car willingly, and that's all the testimony. Even the testimony we had earlier on, that there was witnesses that said that she got in there willingly, and they embrace. They have a hug. She gets out and opens the door for her. And so it wasn't like she was forced into the vehicle. And so they were going somewhere because she jumped in there with the baby willingly. It wasn't like, hey, jump down here, jump in the back seat, and let's drive around drive around the block. It
could have been as simple as, hey, hop in, let me go park over here, and then I'll walk back with you. It could have been as simple as that.
Or it could have been, hey, hop in, we'll run to the coffee shop.
I don't feel like she would have ever left without the car seat or the diaper bag.
So now,
if there was a diaper bag, if there was a car seat, she might put her baby in that car seat, but you'd have to adjust it and all that shit.
Yeah,
a diaper bag, no way. I don't know any new mom, especially with it being her first.
She's not a new mom. She's not a new mom. She's a mom of 3.
We have to remember, Heidi believed that Magen was showing up and had a 3-day-old baby.
Yep, very possible.
So, because she had told Heidi that she had this 3-day-old baby. So Heidi's probably sitting in the car to go see her baby, and
that's
Magen shuts the door. And there's something else that she could have had the child locks on there, so where Magen or Heidi couldn't get out. Like Magen could have put the child locks on the back door.
Mm-hmm.
Heidi got in to see Megan's baby, and then Magen shut the door, and Heidi couldn't get out.
Which is crazy because you at that point if it was something where she felt trapped immediately, like if it was an immediate trap and she knew she was immediately trapped, then in my mind it would have like a mother's literally fight or flight would have kicked in. And
well, she instantly had to know something was wrong because here's Magen, she's supposed to have a 3-day-old baby and there's no baby.
Well, that's if in fact that's the same story she's been telling everyone. If she's been telling everyone the same story, because she didn't start telling this story.
Shane said that he had heard that from Heidi, that Magen was telling Heidi that he heard it from Heidi.
So
this is the story Heidi had.
So the hypothesis could have been simple. I'm going to a parking spot, hop in, or hey, we're in the area. Hey, bring Margot down, but the baby's asleep in the back, or the baby's asleep. Just come down and jump in the car. We'll look at the babies for a second, Oh man, but if she took off out of there and Heidi knew something was up before they left the complex, I just feel like.
But she couldn't get out because if the child locks were locked on the doors, she couldn't get out. She's trapped. Yep. Especially if Magen had a baby seat there strapped in the middle, she couldn't even, get through there, I'm sure, in that little car.
But
that means then she would have had to speed away at a stop sign. Heidi's not kicking on the windows.
Well, that's maybe where the second person came in. You know what I'm saying? Maybe
they're driving. Right. They're driving.
So they're saying Magen got out on the passenger side and opened the door?
Yeah, that's what the affidavit says.
Right.
Oh, they're driving. Right. Okay.
So there wasn't
Magen got back in the front passenger.
Yeah. Now that doesn't mean there wasn't a third person. It could have been someone else in the back seat even. There's really the affidavit doesn't even clearly say that there was two people. It just infers that there were two people because they say Magen got out on the passenger side. And so that just infers that she wasn't driving. It just puts that out there. It doesn't actually say there's two people in the vehicle. And so, whatever that interaction, all the way up into her jumping into the back of the car, was completely willing. And according to the eyewitness, it was completely a willing action all the way up to that point. When the door shuts,
that makes sense.
Yeah, when the door shuts, we're all speculating whether it was to park, whether it was for a cup of coffee around the block. Listen, these girls were running mates. We've heard Megan's friends say, hey, that they're smokers, that she's, hey, jump in, let's run around the block and smoke a joint, or what it could have been. I'm not saying Heidi's that way. I'm just saying that these are all.
It could have been a multitude of things.
Yeah, it could have been 100 different stories.
So this was on the 18th that this witness shared this information.
Yeah.
The 19th, now we're up to when they show up at Megan's house. December 19th, MW returned to the police, to the Austin PD, to the substation, and she looked at a photo lineup that was prepared by the detectives of images of six females, one being Magen Fieramusca. The females were all of similar complexion, and none of the females stood out in the lineup. The photo lineup was presented to MW, and when she saw the photo, Meg.
Oh, what happened to?
I don't know.
On December 19th, 2019, MW returned. There you go.
You're back.
Oh my gosh.
Are you back? No, she's not.
All right. You want to go?
The females were all of similar complexion, and none of the females stood out in the lineup. The photo lineup was presented to MW by Detective Mitchell, badge number 423. When MW saw the photo of Magen, I like to call her MFer, she stated that she was 60 to 70% sure that was the female she saw in the front seat of the vehicle in the parking lot at 744 West William Canyon.
Sorry, guys. Someone tried to FaceTime me. It kicked me off.
No worries. I just read this again.
You want to keep going? Do you want?
Yeah.
For a little bit?
Go ahead.
Shane Carey told Detective Faithful that he believed Heidi Broussard was friends with MFer. Shane Carey provided a cell phone number for MFer from his cell phone. The number's right there, 346-201-1801. Anyone want to call that number and see who answers? This number was determined to be serviced by T-Mobile. On December 18, 2019, intelligence analyst Ferguson of the FBI conducted an open source research related to any social media presence for MFer. A search of Heidi Broussard contacts on Instagram revealed an Instagram account for user Magen Humphrey. That's M-A-Y. Just so you can know that she spelled her name M-A-Y-G-E-N Humphrey, but a lot of these documents spell it a little different. I have to think that the booking photo spelled it right, which is M-A-G-E-N, but because that's her.
What did the baby registry say? Did it say M-A-Y-G-E-N Humphrey?
I don't know. That was y'all's baby registry. Y'all looked that shit up.
No, I was asking Christy.
Oh.
It's y'all's baby registry. Did we lose her again?
She might have muted herself.
Yeah, keep going. You want me to go, or you want to keep going?
I'll go. I don't know on these names. On December 18, 2019,
just sum it up.
IA Ferguson obtained records
I'm here.
for Instagram user Magen Humphrey via voluntary emergency disclosure. The records indicated that the account was registered using email address meganhumphrey@gmail.com. The account had been active for an extended period of time and contained no posts. Further social media research into Magen Humphrey, possibly known as Magen MFer, yielded at least one photo on the Facebook profile of Heidi Broussard depicting the Heidi Broussard and a white female who appeared to be tagged at one time as Magen Humphrey. The white female identified in the photo as Magen Humphrey was visually similar to the known Texas driver's license photo of MFer. So, I mean, she's using different names on Facebook, social media. She's probably not literally to try to hide, but literally just to, hey, I'm going to be under a little ghost account or whatever. People know me from Megan Humphrey or whatever. So on December 18th, go ahead.
So at this point, police were already completely on to Megan before the MW even did the lineup, because, you know, they're going in and looking up all this information about Megan, you know, and doing the lineup, including Megan.
This was all obtained on December 18th. So this is all the same day.
Right.
This is all the same
day before. So, you know, because there was this big question for the longest time. How did police end up at Megan's house? And it all started from those camera footage. And I'm sure maybe police talking to Shane and saying, you know, do you know anybody who drives a car like this?
Well, even talking to the dad, right?
That together.
That information with the dad is earlier in date. You know, it's like on the 14th, they interviewed the dad with the stuff we read earlier. That actually gives a date when they interviewed him. And so, yeah, the dad was already talking about Megan taking the baby at the thing.
Right.
They had already gone and got cell phone records to grow up to verify that she was there. Like they double confirmed that she was there. And so she was in the eye shot of them pretty quickly. I think when they got that eyewitness to say, man, I'm 60 to 70% sure. 60 to 70% sure might not work in a trial, but it's going to work to get an arrest record, right?
But they already had Megan. They had Megan in the crosshairs before she said the 60 to 70%, because they had information to even make a lineup that included Megan for MW to look at.
Oh yeah. Well, that was all on. It was all It all happened, and it looks like it all happened pretty quickly because they didn't run that emergency T-Mobile thing until the 18th. So the emergency Instagram
19th.
So it all
the Friday the 20th, I think.
Well, no, December 18th. They obtained records
that
for
was the
Instagram user. Yeah. So the Instagram was on the 18th. The lineup was on the 18th. So this was all happening, unfolding real quickly. It was like a real quick unfold. Enough information. I don't remember where I stopped. Google search was performed. Where did I stop? I don't remember. Let's see. It was before voluntary emergency disclosure. The record indicated account was registered. Okay, she was using different names. Texas driver's license, Megan MFer. On December 18, 2019, Ferguson requested records from Google Inc. related to the email address meganhumphrey@gmail.com, a voluntary emergency disclosure. A review the search history for Megan Humphrey at Gmail, identified a Google search for reasons for Amber Alert. Okay. So now they are starting to zero in on her Google searches because she was logged into her Google account when she made these searches. And so reasons for Amber Alert, she searched, performed on December 12th. So the day that she was going to do this at 10:31 p.m. Central Standard Time. So she's in the apartments at 9:00 whatever. At 10:31, she does a Google search, reasons for Amber Alerts. To date, an official Amber Alert for the newborn child has not been released via Austin Police Department for Texas Department of Public Safety. So that was on December 18th. They had not released an Amber Alert, but Megan.
So that on the December 12th at 10:42. Oh, that's PM. I was thinking AM. I was like, so that was that night.
Yeah, she's trying to figure out.
After she took her.
She's trying to figure out, did they issue an Amber Alert for my vehicle? Did they issue an Amber Alert? You know, she's searching to see. A Google search was performed for Amber Alert issued Austin by Megan on December 12th at 10:42 p.m. A result of this search located at URL rare U.S. Okay, there's a URL long. Was visited on December 12th at 10:42 p.m. Central Standard Time. A full review for searches performed by Megan's Gmail between November 11th and December 18th revealed some form of Heidi Broussard was searched at least 162 times from a device utilizing the account. So probably a phone device, because they don't say it's like a home computer, but somebody logged into her Gmail, was searched Heidi Broussard 162 times between the 11th and the 18th. That's not super abnormal for her, because if I think about from December, whatever day I picked this case up, till the 18th, there's probably a couple, there's maybe 100 searches. So she was looking for information about this case after the 12th. On December 14th, 2019, a search was conducted using the account for words "bodies found in Austin, Texas." A follow-up,
which is weird. Like,
well, yeah, that's crazy.
You know, because she knew she had Heidi.
But maybe
body,
she was like, let me see where they found bodies, and I don't want to put Heidi there. You know, like, don't go drop her in a park.
She was already having this whole saga going with all of Heidi's friends. Maybe she was looking stuff up, you know, to say, oh, hey, look, you know, this is what I found, you know, maybe this could be her, you know, about other stuff. Like she had this whole storyline going.
A follow-up on requests via voluntary emergency disclosure for any Facebook or Instagram accounts related to email address Magen Humphrey resulted in the identification of Facebook UID. That's unique. I think it's unique ID identification, unique something. Somebody can look up what UID number is for Facebook. Vanity name Magen Humphrey. This account was active from 2018 until the account was terminated or deactivated on December 17, 2019. 2 days before she was arrested. Wow. She deactivated her Facebook account.
She went ghost. Hey, I want to take you guys back to sorry, I was keeping up with chat for a second there, but I want to go back to what you guys were talking about, the searches for that like month, a little over a month. Some form of Heidi Broussard was searched.
What?
Don't, you just kicked me off.
No, we didn't.
You're yelling in our ears.
Okay, well, tell Chad to stop.
Oh my God, don't cuss him out.
Who are you talking to?
I think she was yelling at her husband.
Oh,
she was like, babe.
Oh, she's like, name.
I'm like, who's she talking?
Yes, every time it rings, it kicks me off. Please ask.
Oh my God. Should I mute her? I'm gonna mute her. Okay, let's keep going.
Know.
I love live streams.
Welcome to the world of live stream and the family house.
But what I wanted to ask you was about her searching some form of Heidi Broussard 162 times.
Yeah, but that's after. So we found out Heidi was missing on the 12th or the 13th. And so she started searching on the some sort of Heidi Broussard between the 11th they looked at her internet between the 11th and the 18th. Well, what I was trying to say was, like, once I found out Heidi Broussard was missing, I probably searched that name 150 times in Google, you know? And so
yeah, how many of those were done right, like after the fact?
Yeah, after that the announcement. So when she was talking to you, or not she was talking to you, but when you were talking to people, when you were talking to people, she was getting arrested. But when people were talking about Shane on YouTube, she's searching out to see what are they saying about this case, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of people
well, I mean, she was probably like obsessively searching, because we know she was obsessively calling everybody. Tim Miller, all the friends, you know.
Yeah, and someone says, Danette Costa says, but she started on the 11th. No, that's the time frame they looked at. If you read back what we just read, they started on the 11th, and then they looked from the 11th to the 18th, and they said between the 11th and the 18th, she searched this many times. But that's just because that's what they put their search to. It doesn't mean she started searching her name on the 11th. It just means that was their search parameter.
Okay, right, because they wanted to go back a little bit.
Yeah, they wanted to go back and see. Now, that doesn't mean she didn't search her name on the 11th. It just means that was part of the parameters.
Yeah, that was the time frame they searched in.
Yeah, they searched within that time frame and found that she had searched within that time frame 100 and so many times. And so just understanding that they're not necessarily saying that she started searching on the 11th. That's their time frame. I think that's what was confusing people. They were like, no, she was searching on the 11th. Well, maybe she was.
That's just like you said, the parameters.
It's the parameters in which they line out in the affidavit. So it could have been that she had searched on the 11th, but they just lay out, we looked at this time frame, this is how many times she searched in this time frame. I would probably say it was probably most like on the 12th, like, because then they get really specific and they say on the 12th she searched out Amber Alert, like what causes an Amber Alert, right? And so she was on the 12th, she was like, oh my God, I got to see if there's an Amber Alert about me or whatever, you know, and there hadn't been any Amber Alerts made. On December, if we go to Google search was performed for Amber Alert issued on the 12th, and then we go down a full review of searches performed. So this is number 34. If you've downloaded the affidavit, we're at article number 34, a full review of searches performed by Magen between November 11th and December 18th revealed some form of Heidi Broussard was searched at least 162 times from a device utilizing the account. So it doesn't say that she started. That's just parameters. On December 14th, 2019, a search conducted using the account for words bodies found in Austin, Texas. That's crazy. A follow-up request via for Facebook and Instagram. That was the user ID number. Does anyone know? Did anyone find out what UID stands for? Facebook UID, or if it's just
user ID, probably.
Yeah, just user ID.
Because that's like if you, the numbers after your.
So, but
your
here
URL.
on 2008, until the account was terminated or deactivated on December 17th at 9 p.m., IP address history from the account resolved to T-Mobile. Members.
So that could DWAP. That could have something to do with their search parameters too, like the cell phone, like the month. You know, the month the bill falls on, like the beginning of the period and the end. You know what I'm saying? How they do that with cell phones.
Yeah,
T-Mobile.
like, oh yeah, I guess. We'll
yeah,
see.
because
I
they're
was
not
trying to
like
see.
they're not usually the 1st through the 31st. You know, they're weird dates for your bill. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think what they're talking about here is they're identifying the device, because they're saying IP address history from the account resolved to T-Mobile.
Right,
so like
right.
she probably used her cell phone.
Gotcha.
And that's what they were. I think they go into members of FBI. This is where it gets. This is crazy. Members of the FBI behavioral unit have been included on numerous investigations, briefs, and summaries related to the disappearance of Heidi Broussard and her newborn child. The totality of the interactions and events related to MFR, including traveling to another city late into a pregnancy, the interaction with Shane Carey's father, the first time he held his grandchild, the image of a vehicle consistent with the vehicle operated by MFR, and the deletion of Magen MFR's Facebook account were analyzed by FBI behavioral unit members who advised that the situation and scenarios described are indicative of a female perpetrator of a child abduction. So that they basically got the people who do the people that are going to testify in court, that are the ones that are going to write up these behavioral analysis of her. They got them to say, hey, what we have seen and what we have heard is you're looking at the perpetrator right there, you know. And so this is on December 14th. Is that what I just read? No, December 17th. That was the address behavior. So they don't give a date when they talk to these guys, but research conducted by the FBI indicated that MFR resided, and they give her address here. We already know it, 8118 Jack Drive, Houston, Texas. Shane Carey told Detective Faithful that MFR's boyfriend was named Christopher Green, who also resided. Okay, this is where the cops knew what was happening. They were starting to get some shit together. A search warrant for the call detailed records associated with MFer's T-Mobile phone number 346-201-1801 was prepared and was presented to Travis District Judge Ureta December 19th. Judge Ureta signed the search warrant. The signed search warrant for call detail records associated with Magen MFer's T-Mobile phone number were submitted to T-Mobile. T-Mobile provided data which provided historical location data for the phone number associated with MFer's phone. Historical location data for MFer's phone show the device traveling from Houston to Austin area on November 26, which is consistent with the statements that place her at St. David's South Austin Hospital for the birth of Heidi Broussard's newborn child. Historical location data for the device associated with MFer's phone showed the device in Austin area on November 26th and 27th, 2019. Again, supervisory agent Mullen of the FBI conducted a preliminary historical analysis of the data provided by T-Mobile, historical location data for the device associated with MFer's phone, showing the device located in Austin area near Heidi Broussard and Shane Carey's apartment on December 12th, the same day Heidi Broussard and newborn child disappeared. That right there is not the, it's just another chink in the evidence. So you got eyewitness account, you got cell phone data account, and you got video evidence account. They're just checking boxes for the.
Yeah, they did. They put their dotted their I's and crossed their T's on this.
Well, because a defense attorney can pull apart a witness, right? A defense attorney can say, are you positive? Are you sure it was her? Have you seen her? Maybe you saw her there before and that's what you're remembering. So they could have taken that eyewitness account and took that 60 and 70%, and they could have made it 40, 50%, in trial. And then, a video picture that's not clear of, it doesn't have a clear stamp of the video of her car, doesn't literally say, oh, this is the license plate number, right? So they couldn't, but it looks like her car. It resembles her car. It's there around this time. But now all of a sudden you got a phone ping. Oh, that's technology. They doesn't make mistakes. It's unbiased. The cell phone ping is unbiased to MFer. So they can't change the cell phone ping. They either got it or they don't, and they got it. That iPhone 11 got it. So on December 19, 2019, FBI texted public. We're conducting. Oh, here's where it gets good. Supervisory special agent. I read that. I'm on number 44. On December 19, 2019, FBI agents and Texas Department of Public Safety investigators were conducting surveillance of MFer and Christopher Green's residence. I love this because they got the chopper out on this one. 81, they talked the address. Texas DPS deployed a helicopter for aerial observation. The operator of the DPS helicopter observed the vehicle parked in the backyard of the residence between the garage and the residence. The vehicle was parked in a manner consistent with an attempt to conceal the vehicle from public view. The vehicle was later confirmed a gray Nissan Versa four-door bearing Texas license plate redacted. FBI agents reported that Christopher Green left the residence in a black Nissan Armada SUV on Thursday, December 19, 2019.
There's the black SUV.
Oh, yeah, listen, it gets better, girl. It gets better.
Okay.
Christopher Green drove to a Target store. DPS investigators observed Christopher Green shopping for baby clothes and saw Christopher Green purchase baby formula inside the store. Texas DPS investigators, now they approach him, spoke with Christopher Green as he exited the store. Texas Ranger Christian provided a summary of the conversation with Christopher Green. Christopher Green informed DPS investigators that he was in relationship with Magen MFer since 2016. Christopher Green and MFer lived together at the Bojack Drive, Houston, Texas address. Christopher Green and Magen MFer broke up in March 2019. However, both parties remained in the residence. So Christopher Green, he verifies that he ain't dating this MFer anymore. Wow. Christopher Green reported You like that, don't you?
I love that. I love it.
Christopher Green reported in the spring of 2019 that MFer was pregnant. So Christopher Green stated that he noticed that MFer's stomach grew during the year. Christopher Green indicated that he felt her stomach, which he described as hard. You still there? You got quiet.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I muted for a second, but did he felt her baby
but
bump?
listen. He felt the baby bump. Christopher Green stated that he never saw MFer's bare stomach during the pregnancy, stating that their relationship during the year did not lend itself to seeing her in stages of undress. Christopher Green believed that Magen MFer was pregnant with his child. So even though he didn't see her bare skin, he felt hard baby. She probably had a baby bump on. Texas Rangers.
Wait, D-Wop, hold up. Back up. Rewind. What'd you just say?
What?
What'd you just say? She probably had what?
She probably had a baby. So I got this big box today from Amazon.
Did you think it was a baby box?
I was like, well, who sent me an Amazon box? And I was like, these MFers, if they sent me a baby box.
You never know, you MFer. You might just get one. Remember our deal? Remember we talked.
Well, no, it ain't proven yet. Unless that's evidence A. It's got to be evidence or
it's
not.
It's be
exhibit A. It doesn't have to be exhibit A. It has to be an exhibit. And when they take her to court and they're like, exhibit A, we found this in MFer's room, and they say moon pillow.
Yeah, just wait, D-Wop.
Texas Ranger.
Luna pillow's gonna be on your belly.
I'm on number 48. Texas Ranger Rainwater spoke with Christopher Green. Rainwater showed Christopher Green a flyer produced by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children featuring images provided by the affiliate, what is that word, of Heidi Broussard and newborn child. Christopher Green looked at the flyer, looked at the pictures of Heidi Broussard's newborn child on the flyer, and stated, quote, "That's the baby at my house," end quote. That was on that was 49. So that was all happening, I believe, in the Target parking lot. When they followed him out.
That was a freaking moment right there. That's the baby at my house. I can't get past that.
Yeah.
And they put that in quotes. And so they only gave us portion. Remember, this is a summary. This is just a summary of their interaction. They even state this is a summary of this conversation. So there's no telling what else starts to come out. FBI agent were notified of the conversation with Christopher Green and the purchase of the baby formula. So at this point, FBI now is this Texas Ranger's talking to this cat, and as soon as he said, "That's the baby at my house," it's like, okay, roll on it. You know, they're contacting FBI. FBI agents and DPS investigators observed MFer walk out of the front door. This is very important, by the way. Houston, Texas, with her cell phone and baby monitor. At that moment, that's the safest place they can get Magen. Okay, they don't know what's happening in the house. They don't have eyes in the house. If they storm the house, there's a chance MFer does something stupid to the baby. When they see her come out the front door, boom, we got eyesight on her that we're pretty sure no one else is in the house because we got Christopher Green down the street at Target. And so now they know the house is empty. She has a baby monitor and a phone. FBI agents were notified of the Texas Rangers. They see her come out. Texas Ranger Gary Phillips spoke with MFer, who stated that on December 12th. So interesting. On December 12th.
I want to stop you for a second. In chat, they're saying a lot. A lot of people are saying, wait, where did it go? I was going to put it up on the screen. Oh, that he didn't say when they showed him the picture of the baby, he didn't say, "That's my baby."
Right. Yes.
He said, "That's the baby at my house."
No, absolutely.
That's very interesting to me. So what?
Well, yeah. So because it would kind of contradict not a previous statement, but it would kind of, because remember, we're also just getting they put that one quote in there, right? So what if the quote was, they just gave one little section. What if his quote was, oh my goodness, that's my baby. That's the baby at my house. Like, what if he even caught himself, right? We don't know his whole statement because they just put that one sentence in quotes.
True.
But then they summarize the rest of the stuff. So you got to be like,
yeah, you're right. You're right.
I'm just
You're
saying,
right.
like, they just quoted one sentence. They made sure
We
to
don't know
put
what
that
he
in
said
quotes.
before that.
Yeah, they made sure to put that in quotes. They wanted to make the impact that statement came out of his mouth, and they made that impact in this affidavit by putting quotes around it. But at the beginning of the statement, they say, "Hey, this is a summary of this conversation." And so he very well could have said, Christopher Green looked at the flyer, looked at the picture of Heidi Broussard's newborn child on the flyer, and stated, "That's the baby at my house." He could have stated. Oh, he could have stated a sentence before, a sentence after.
Yeah, he could have said something like,
they took a small segment.
Yeah, that's my baby girl, but that's the baby at my house. You don't know what they were asking him either, as they showed him that flyer.
Yeah, we just don't know the whole conversation, and I'm sure I would be dumbfounded if this entire conversation isn't completely captured on body camera, and so they're approaching him for a reason. They're approaching him in public coming out of the Target. Again, they didn't do this to humiliate him. They didn't do this. This is standard police procedure. We have him in a safe place. He's not in his car. He can't run from us. We got eyes on him. He just bought baby formula. So now we have questions we can ask about. And so they're approaching him in a safe place so that they can get the information from him. And it sounds like as soon as he realizes what's going on, he's talking to him. So let's see here. She comes out of the house. Texas Ranger Gary Phillips spoke with MFer, who stated, so he's speaking with her outside of the house, that on December 12, 2019, MFer left to go to the beach with a cousin. Okay, so that story comes from her. That actually doesn't come from Chris. When I read this earlier, I thought this came from Chris. But so Gary Phillips spoke with MFer, who stated that on December 12, 2019, MFer left to go to the beach with a cousin, while Christopher Green stayed in Houston working. When Christopher Green saw MFer next on Friday, December 13, 2019, MFer told Christopher Green, quote, "Don't be mad, quote. Christopher Green asked why he would be mad. MFer told Christopher Green that there was a baby on the bed. MFer said that she went into labor and delivered their baby without Christopher Green's knowledge.
And I bet he thought that was sketchy, wouldn't you think?
You would have to.
For Christ's
what?
sake.
You didn't even call and say, "Hey, I'm,"
right? You delivered this
labor.
baby in your home, and
no, the whole that whole little story right there is. All I can say is I hope Christopher Green, if in fact he's working in Houston, he has some sort of alibi for the 12th, and so they're gonna look at that. And the fact that she mentions her cousin, that adds another element of confirmation. And the cousin's not mentioned in here at all. And so,
well, and then I guess it's the next number, but then it's like she doesn't even remember what birthing center she had the baby at. Like, really? You had your first baby and you don't know where you had the baby? I mean, everything makes no sense.
Somebody take over. I am on I was on
I'll go ahead.
52. Yeah. You want to take over, Christy?
I just finished at 52.
Unless you want to, Jay, it's your show.
No, it's okay. I don't mind. I just wanted to bring up something. Let me go back here. Okay, so Magen, I want to go back to this. Magen walked out of the front door with her cell phone and a baby monitor.
Yeah.
And that was when?
That was on the 19th.
After they talked to Chris at Target.
Yep.
Okay, so what was the date of the raid?
The date's the
The
19th.
19th. This is
The
all.
same
This
day.
is all right before the.
This
raid
is
happened.
happening
Yes.
right.
Oh, this
well,
is right before the raid.
This is
Okay.
happening. This is happening at the
So-
rate. This is how they get. We're about to
This-
go into search warrants and all that.
Okay, so this is when the baby was in the
So
swing.
when they-
She's got the monitor and her phone, and
Yeah,
she walks
let's
outside.
be clear. At this very moment, they don't have a search warrant for the house. They don't have a search warrant for the car. At this moment, when this Texas Ranger officer walks up to her, he's walking up there to a consensual, what they call a consensual encounter. He doesn't need a warrant. He doesn't need he's literally walking up. Hey, how's it going? Are you Magen blah blah? And he began to talk to her right then. It wasn't an arrest. This is a consensual encounter. And I mean, the cops were all over. They were right around the corner. They were next door. They could have.
They were already working
Yeah.
on getting a warrant because they had already seen through helicopter that car parked in the back in a concealed manner.
Oh yeah. They got
So, they were already
they've been
working on the
watching them
warrant.
all day. They've been watching them all day, and they had that helicopter. They didn't stir the bird up without knowing what was happening. They
This
wanted
is
to watch from a
crazy.
distance,
So
know?
all of this was going down, Christy, while we were live. Like
Yes.
they were talking to Chris, and she walked outside. Wow,
Right.
that's craziness.
Yes. It was. Yeah.
All right, what
Okay,
number are we
anyway.
on?
52.
52.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So Megan told the ranger, Phillips, that she went into labor on Thursday, December 12th. So here we go. Another, diversion from the timeline. She went into labor on Thursday, December 12th. Megan stated that she went to a birthing center in the Woodlands. And she could not remember the name of the birthing center in which she reported giving birth.
Can't
Megan
remember.
Yeah, that's yeah. Oh, gee, I don't.
I forgot where I had my baby. Yeah.
Megan stated that the only people present during the delivery were employees of the birthing center. Megan told the ranger that she brought the baby home on December 12th, and Ranger Phillips confronted Megan about the discrepancy about her location on the date she reportedly delivered. Megan stated that she was not in Austin. So they're already starting to call her out like there's a discrepancy.
Yeah, they had they had already had her cell phone records.
And members of the FBI Behavioral Analysis Unit provided an assessment of maternal desire, specifically that mothers who have lost a pregnancy or have falsified a pregnancy and have materialized the desire to have a child by taking possession of another child. So they're saying that they did an analysis of her, and I actually have that magistrate assessment document, which Jay should have there, which we can look at afterwards, that discusses her mental health.
Yeah, that was released with they released the affidavit, that report, and then the photos today.
I haven't seen any photos.
Her mugshot photo. Her
the
mugshot out of Travis.
Okay, yeah.
Oh God, she looks rough up in there.
Yeah, she does with her stripes on.
Whoa, she's
hit. Shane Carey previously reported that the newborn had jaundice when discharged from the hospital, which we just read about a little bit ago. A physician consulted by the FBI advised that untreated severe jaundice can cause a condition called kernicterus, which is a type of brain damage. Chris Green was purchasing formula, which Shane Carey said was necessary to treat the newborn child's jaundice. Due to the unknown status of the treatment of the newborn child's jaundice, which could lead to brain damage if untreated, members of the Texas Department of Public Safety approached 8118 Bojack Drive to check welfare of the unborn child.
So that answers our question, because we wondered what came first.
The CPS or the troopers.
Right. Yeah. Right. That was one thing we talked about. Yeah. So that answers that question.
So Rangers and they already been talking to Chris and Megan, but based on this jaundice, that gave them cause because they knew what was going on. They had it figured out at this point. So DPS troopers secured vehicles at the residence and secured the perimeter of the residence and entered in an attempt to ensure the safety of the newborn child. DPS troopers located a young infant child whose physical appearance is consistent with that of Heidi Broussard's newborn child.
Let me stop you there. Can you
Yeah.
imagine being these troopers and actually finding that baby alive?
Right.
I mean, that
Yeah.
must have been a pretty amazing moment for them with that.
Disbelief and joy, and yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, we hear about these stories, you know, like go back to Watts, you know, all those recovery off or whoever they were that had to get those babies out of those tanks. You know, that's
Right.
the worst outcome, obviously. But like for
Yes.
them to go in this house and see this baby alive and well, that's amazing.
Right. And
So
then it goes from jubilation to despair, because in the very next line,
I mean,
it talks about Ranger
Oh,
Phillips
shit.
has investigated numerous deceased persons and been around numerous deceased human bodies. Ranger Phillips, through his training and experience, can readily identify the odor of decomposing flesh.
Oh, shit.
When
So they're elated.
yeah.
They find this baby and then
Yep.
boom, they smell the
And
decomp.
as soon as they get on the property, they smell it. Yeah.
Damn
Texas
it.
Ranger Phillips approached the vehicle bearing the Texas license plate, the 2015 Nissan Versa, parked on the back porch of the single-family residence. And it is registered through the state of Texas to Magen Fieramusca. Ranger Phillips smelled the immediate and unmistakable odor of decomposing flesh emitting from the trunk area of the four-door to the Nissan Versa bearing Texas license plates.
Okay, let me stop you there. So Chris
Yeah.
Green didn't smell this?
Exactly.
I mean, I get they're
did he never
trained.
go to the back of the house?
Like, I get
it's
they're
a horrible
trained.
smell.
They like the police know what that smell is like immediately. But like Chris Green
Right.
didn't smell nothing.
Well, listen to this. So while this is happening, like they smell this, they know this is happening, but we have video footage of the
Yes.
we have video footage of
Magen and the
Texas
Ranger.
we have video footage of Texas Ranger Phillips on the back porch with Magen talking to her. He smells this. He knows where the body's at, but they don't open the trunk. She don't say nothing about it. They don't, at least they had to have asked her about it. They had to have asked, do you smell this? Have you heard? Do you smell anything?
Uh-huh.
You know, and so at this time, they're getting the warrant for the vehicle. They haven't searched it. He just smells it. And he's sitting on the back porch 10-15 feet away from the back of that car, and he's interviewing her and getting all these statements about her forgetting where the birthing center is, about having her baby, about all this time they're treating her. She even is, you can see the video, she doesn't even look handcuffed. She's sitting on the back of her porch and she's talking to this Texas Ranger. And so all this happens, they still haven't opened the trunk yet. It's
wow.
Not a, like, we watched that video, like even while you're doing the live, I was doing a live. Oh, everybody was watching it on the news. We're watching that helicopter fly around that house, right? The smell that video doesn't show you is just described in this affidavit. And so you just, while you go back and look at those images that were captured on this day, and you start to put this right there with it, it takes you in a whole nother way, you know. So
Oh, so yeah, so we're at the end of it now, where then they got the search warrant from the judge for the vehicle.
60
and yeah, 61.
61.
And
then we have some bonus footage.
Yeah. And
Well,
then the
now
judge
listen.
reviewed and approved the search warrant.
Hey, redactor, I just want to thank you for number 61 because you didn't redact. So that was where they gave the license.
Texas Ranger is still on scene and was notified of the signed search warrant. During the search of the 2015 Nissan Versa four-door bearing the Texas license plate, Ranger Phillips located a human corpse in the trunk of the vehicle. The human corpse appeared to be a female with long hair and was shoved into a black duffel bag. Your affiant, the detective, has probable cause to believe that Magen Fieramusca did, on or about December 12, 2019, knowingly abduct Heidi Broussard's newborn child, Megan Fieramusca presented Heidi Broussard's newborn child as her own to her boyfriend, Christopher Green. Christopher Green told Ranger Rainwater that the infant child pictured on the flyer produced by the Nation Center for Missing and Exploited Children, featuring images provided by your affiant of Heidi Broussard and her newborn child, depicted the infant inside his residence with Megan Fieramusca.
Wow. It really pieces together, though, that whole entire scenario.
Yeah, of how that all happened. Yep.
Do you want me to pull up your PDFs now?
Yeah, why don't you pull up, let's see. Well, they have the arrest warrant is probably, I mean, if you're going in logical sequential order, the warrant of arrest is, I mean, it's not really much there that we don't know. It just says that she had $100,000 bond for kidnapping, which is a third-degree felony. And it also has GPS in jail, EM in jail. I'm guessing EM is electronic monitoring. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's what we're looking at. And so this is just the warrant for her arrest. And so there's 2 pages for the 2 kidnappings that look identical. And then the third page has a bond of $400,000 for tampering with a corpse in second-degree felony. And then that also has the GPS in jail, EM in jail. So that was a warrant of the arrest after they had put together the affidavit.
Then what one next?
Then we have
Magistrate.
There's the motion to seal. There's not really much there of too much interest, except for, oh, you know what? Pull up the indigence. That would be the next one.
The indigence one?
Yeah, findings of indigency. So this is where, you know, they're determining that she qualifies for a public defender and cannot afford an attorney on her own.
Okay, I've got that one up.
It says, right. It says, in the above styled and numbered cause, the court finds the defendant is indigent and in need of legal services pursuant to the Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 6, to wit, the defendant is presumed indigent as defined by the Travis County Fair Defense Act Program Standards and Procedures, or the defendant is otherwise unable to retain private counsel without substantial hardship to the defendant or the defendant's dependents. It is therefore ordered that the program administrator, the Capital Area Private Defender Service, shall assign a qualified attorney to represent this defendant as authorized by the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. And the final page of that, I guess it's like an evaluation of her indigency.
Which one is that one called? I want to pull it up.
It should be the final page of the indigence, where it's like, it looks like a form you fill out by hand.
I didn't know there was more than one page. Hold on.
Yeah.
I thought that was just, okay. Hold on. Okay.
This is her evaluation.
Okay, gotcha. I'm there.
There you go. So it's interesting that it's basically blank for family size. It's completely blank. All the income, monthly income, because they're evaluating, you know, can she afford to pay for an attorney? Her income and expenses is all blank. The only noted thing on here is at the very bottom under comments, it says defendant receives food stamps. So I thought that was, I don't know, unusual, I guess. I don't know if it is unusual, but
half of 57% of America or something like that. 80.
Right. But like, why would they just put that, but no other information about her living conditions?
She may not have answered a lot of that because of for whatever reason. Like when you get booked into jail, they're going to ask you a lot of questions, and one of the questions, do you receive any sort of government assistance? that's one of the questions they're going to ask you that you get when you get booked into jail. And so that would have been a simple yes or no. On the other information, I can't actually see this document close up right here.
It says monthly income, and it says employer, position, salary,
So
Social Security checks, child support they receive, other government checks they receive, and then a total income. And then it has.
You think there'd be like a line through it or something? If
is it not redacted? Did they not white it out?
No, it's not.
It's just
it doesn't
blank?
look like that. Yeah. This is all blank.
Yeah.
And just at the very bottom, staff use only, under comments, it just says that she receives food stamps.
Yeah, so this could have been this form is filled out probably by the booking agent, or it could have been formed out by like somebody that's interviewing her to see if she's eligible for
I mean, they don't even have her vehicle listed on there.
Well, yeah, because this is actually only for the indigency, so they have to verify her for a public defender. And so they have these people that come into the jail and they sit down with you and they ask you all these questions.
Right. But what I'm saying, like, it says transportation, make, model, year, it's blank. So like if she was making a car payment, you think they would have written that on there as one of her expenses.
Not really, because this is done by like a little intern or something.
Oh, gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? All they're trying to do all she's trying to do by sitting down doing this application is
can you afford an attorney or not?
She's applying for an attorney. And if she puts on there, all that person has to put is she has food stamps. Well, all of a sudden we know that now she's approved for government food stamps. She's probably going to get approved for, the reason they put that in that staff notes might have been so that they didn't even have to fill out all this other info, because that right there,
that answers their question.
It could have been an automatic, like she has government assistance food stamps. She's going to
obviously,
she's going to be automatic for that. Because this happens in the big jails where they have to go through and there's hundreds of people. Travis County's a big jail. So they did this inside the jail with her after she was booked into Travis County. And that is so that she gets that public defender. But we already, she got appointed that public defender pretty quickly after getting to Travis County, because they already put in motions to continue, and so to continue on till the 3rd before her appearance. And so, I
just want to clarify something in chat too. I don't think necessarily she had to have proven she was pregnant to get food stamps. I know a lot of grown, able-bodied adults that receive food stamps.
Yes.
It's not just
it's over some 50 some odd % of
it's not just if you're pregnant or if you're you have small children. I've seen single adults get food stamps no problem. If they don't have a job, they qualify.
Yeah, to get the actual, though, like somebody said,
like WIC. You have to get WIC.
She would have had to go
in. She would have to WIC. She would have to prove a pregnancy.
But they didn't say WIC. They said food.
They just said So, and this is done. I know what this.
We can go to the magistrate assessment here too, if you want, Jay.
Okay, hold on. The magistrate assessment. All right, we are there. Hello?
I'm here.
Yes.
Okay, we're there. Angie says, I know a dude with no kids that receive food stamps. Yeah, absolutely. Happens all the time.
Taking advantage.
Unfortunately, it happens all the time, but what are you going to do?
So this is saying it's the mental health history. And the assessment is provided pursuant to Article 16.22 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. The contents of this form remain confidential as applicable to the Health and Safety Code chapter. So this is done on December 21st. So this would have been Saturday. So yeah, the raid happened on Thursday the 19th. This was Saturday the 21st. It was done by Mary Guthrie. And it says mental health patient reported being diagnosed with bipolar disorder and PTSD in her early 20s. So we're talking 10 years prior. She denied any meds or hospital history. Patient denies past or current self-harm attempts. No indication or report that the patient has neurodevelopment disorder. No indication or report that patient has a neurocognitive disorder. Patient reported being a victim of assault, confirming her desire for mental health, MHFU, mental health follow-up, maybe? PREA was discussed and the MHFU will be scheduled. And they're saying she is safe and stable. So TCSO, Travis County Sheriff's Office, I'm assuming, does not have access to, there's 3 different assessments, ANSA, CANS, and LIDDA assessments completed by the mental health authority. These should be requested through Integral Care.
Do we know what those tests are, Christy?
I don't. We can look them up.
I'm just curious.
Yeah. Let's see.
They're just saying she needs to. Are they saying she needs to get these tests? Are going to get tested?
Okay, so ANSA is Adult Needs and Strengths Assessment, and
MHSU is mental health substance use.
Child and adolescent needs and strengths, and
mental health substance use.
the LIDA test is local intellectual and developmental disabilities. So these are all assessments completed by the mental health authority that the sheriff's office does not have access to. It says the current presentation is at the time of the assessment, the patient did not appear to be acutely decompensated, suicidal, or homicidal. I don't know about that. Please note that a patient may be acutely decompensated due to the effects of substance and could significantly improve within 24 hours. This assessment considers both the statements of the patient and observations of the interviewer. The subjective evaluation says the patient reported that her mental health diagnosis and denied any SA history. Not sure what SA might be. Patient endorsed situational DEP and ANX and denied additional MH, mental health, SXS.
God, I want to decipher all this.
Yeah.
She's just denying any. I mean, like she's saying that they're asking her, are you suicidal? Do you have any thoughts of hurting yourself? Are you going to hurt you or others right now?
Is that what that is?
Yeah, these are all just assessments.
Just general questions.
It says the patient denied a whole bunch of things and listed her sister as a deterrent to SIB and as her only emotional support. Patient denied any current meds or need for anything while incarcerated. Patient was provided with jail protocol and reported her ability and willingness to ask for help while incarcerated. So that was the subjective.
Well, did you use the initials SA?
Yeah.
Somebody's saying it could be sexual abuse or sexual. It could be substance abuse. Could be
substance abuse. Yes, I think it's substance abuse. Patient reported, her mental health diagnosis and denied any substance abuse history.
Yeah, that would make more sense. This is all going to go. Which we also know that a friend said, "Oh yeah, they were using marijuana and coke."
Which we know from an interview with that Jay you did with her friend from a couple of years ago that he had firsthand knowledge that that's not true.
Yeah.
And then the objective reviews that the patient met in the ISO cell. It's just a whole bunch of acronyms here. Okay, so the patient's mood liable with moderate eye contact. She was mildly engaged with a flat affect. Patient was calm and cooperative. She was aware, alert, and oriented ×4 with vague TP. Patient presented as a poor historian, unreliable, unpredictable, impulsive, lacking insight, emotionally volatile, and with minimal coping skills. Patient was assessed for an imminent risk of self-harm and harm to others with moderate concerns found and will be housed for safety.
So she's being housed probably by not under 24. They're not saying she's on suicide watch, but she probably is going to be, it'd be interesting. I doubt that she's on any sort of segregation or anything like that, because she's, she's just like anyone else right now. Somebody that's been convicted, or not convicted, but has been charged and awaiting court. She's not super high profile in a sense of it just yet, because they're just now releasing this info. I'm interested to know what they've postponed, like if the public defender came in and said, hey, we want to have where they didn't have these available resources to give these certain tests, I'd be interested to know if the public defender is going to say, well, I want her to have a full evaluation with these tests, and that's why they put off her first appearance, because they may have read this stuff and go, oh, we want to get this reevaluated, and so.
Well, it says it's kind of conflicting in a way, because in the end it says level of functioning, 6 severe difficulties with level of functioning. So her level of functioning was rated a 6, and I'm guessing maybe that's 1 out of 10. And it was based on moderate cognitive impairment or emotional distress, short-term risk of maintaining safety of self or others, but no immediate risk of harm, has ability to maintain functions of daily living and self-care, occasional interference in societal, family, work, or educational responsibilities. So they're saying like her mental health has occasionally interfered with her daily life. Symptoms are not managed due to lack of support, structure, and coping skills. So I think they're looking at that she did have a previous diagnosis of bipolar and PTSD maybe 10 years prior, but at this time it appears to be unmanaged due to lack of support, structure, and coping skills.
Yeah, she did.
And I'm no expert, but that's just my take on reading through this.
Yeah, it's like somebody says, I've been diagnosed bipolar. Are you going to a psychiatrist? Have you seen a doctor lately about it? And she's like, no, I don't have the money. I don't have. Who's around you? They're asking. And I think that a lot of that is in this, like, who's around her, giving her support. She only mentions one person.
Her sister.
One of her sisters. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
crazy. I have a little bone for you guys at the very end.
What do you got?
Are we done?
Well, I don't know.
2
hours. We're done with paperwork.
Hey, you know what, D-Wop? You said how much time you got tonight. I said, D-Wop, I got all night. Are you teasing us then? Are you like throwing the carrot out in front of the donkey going, I got a bone for us? Or maybe
what?
a little.
I got about 10 minutes before I have to head on out of here. So.
I know. We're going to get off here at midnight. We're going to get off here at midnight, y'all.
Oh, well, if y'all are getting off at midnight, I'm not even close to done.
Oh, you're not?
Yeah,
you want to do a little?
I'll pick it up at 10. Don't worry. You're off at midnight.
All right, cool.
That's 10 because that's 10 my time.
Dude, that works for me. We'll just all mosey on over to Woodland Park. But you know what, D-Wop? I had a brainstorm an idea during this live. When you wear your baby bump, this is what I want you to do. If I wear a baby bump. When you wear your baby bump, this is what we're going to want you to do.
Get this paperwork off here. I want to look at you when you're telling me this.
Okay, wait, I'm eating ice cream. Hold up.
Well, get your ice cream ready. I want to look at you when you're going to try to tell me I'm going to do something.
You love it. You know it. You love it, D-Woppers.
Jay's speaking of bones and thinks D-Wop's ears aren't going to get peaked.
Here I am. And I'm saying right here on my live tonight that when you have to wear your baby bump, we want you to go live and go around Woodland Park to different establishments. And we want you to end your trip at your beer house place. What's it called? Beer Works.
Beer Works.
Yeah, we're gonna end the baby bump tour at Beer Works, and we're gonna have a beer with D-Wop at the end. That actually sounds fun, doesn't it? He wants to do it. He's hoping for Exhibit A. He wants to do it.
Well, first of all, I'm hoping for trial because I'm going to Austin.
Nuh-uh.
Yep. So if it goes,
D-Wop's gonna be boots on the ground.
I'm gonna go to this trial for sure, 100%. That's a done deal. If this thing goes to trial, I'm going to Austin, and maybe I'll wear my baby bump to trial.
Oh shit!
If they don't have the day that they release Exhibit A is the day that I'll put the baby bump on. So
I can't wait for Exhibit A. Okay, so my little bone before we end here, we're almost to midnight. Okay, that was my goal.
What is this? Is this like, are you gonna drop a possum now?
No, it's not. It's just a little nugget. It's just a little nugget.
Let's hear the nugget.
Okay, so this comes from a source close, very, very close to the family. Okay. So Megan's defense team, from what I've been told, has told her to stop calling her mother because she's been calling her mother while she's in jail, continuously telling her, I don't know why they're keeping me here. That is my baby. I didn't do anything.
Crazy. Well, you know why she's telling her to quit call? Because every call she makes is recorded. Every call she makes is recorded.
Well, yeah.
Okay,
Can you imagine what this girl's saying? If she's telling mom, I don't know why they're holding me here. That's my baby. If she's still in that delusional lie, can you imagine if she's talking to anyone else?
It gets a little juicier. It gets a little juicier. I'm not done. So according to the source, the mother is also in denial about the situation, right? So the mother thinks that this is just like a misunderstanding. Like they're just holding Magen and it'll blow over eventually and get worked out. And Magen is giving off that same perception.
This is the same mother married to a
child predator,
a registered
sex offender.
So, I mean, this is the kind of people when you think about, well, first of all, I mean,
like, how can she be saying that?
Yeah, we know that. I mean, we know a mother's going to say some things. The problem with this case, or the problem with any of that, is that look, they like we just read the affidavit. They found a decomposing body in the trunk of her vehicle. They have positively identified DNA results for Margot. They so for this. Hopefully if that's what she's saying to mama, she could very well be gonna go, and this is why they've postponed out the first appearance, because they're gonna very well go with this postpartum. If Magen could produce a shred, an MFR, if she could produce a shred of evidence that she was pregnant at some point, if she could produce a shred of evidence that was credible, that she was pregnant, the defense could maybe go after that postpartum psychosis stuff. The FBI has already started to recognize that, hey, this is consistent with someone who has either falsified a pregnancy or maybe lost a baby for an early miscarriage, or like this is just consistent with a female abductor who has gone through some craziness. So look at you getting all fancy three-way screening it.
Just playing around.
Is there a way though to decide where everyone is?
Like this.
Can you move people around?
You can, yeah. Like you can make yourself bigger.
You can make me bigger and make you smaller, or is there a way
I can make myself bigger and you small. You can
no,
do
but
that.
that's what I'm saying. Can you bring someone who's talking forward? Now we're just talking tech shit.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
But yeah, isn't that some cray shit?
Cell phone users. Oh man, it'll be interesting. The cell phone will be used. Definitely Megan's cell phone, because they're going to show that credibility of it. Heidi's cell phone, I'm interested to know if they do a backlog on it too. They didn't share that with us. They did share that they did ping that thing for 48 hours and it didn't respond in any way. Did they recover? Did they recover her cell phone? Because if they recover her cell phone, they can pull information and data that they can't necessarily pull from the pings, because that iPhone 11, think about this, they could actually tell if in fact that cell phone, they recovered it, they could tell how much that cell phone moved, the heart app on the iPhone. There's all kinds of little stuff that could have been implemented and run. And
D-Wop, how do I show a picture on StreamYard?
So the best, like, is it a picture that you have from an email?
No, I just opened it up in preview.
So then Mac. Just do application share.
It's not showing my preview in applications.
You go to share screen.
Yeah, it's not. All it shows is my StreamYard.
No, you gotta go.
I'm gonna hop off now.
Okay, thanks, Christy.
Thanks, Christy.
Thanks so much.
All right, take care.
Bye, girl.
Bye.
It should just be a screen share, and then there should be an application.
Yeah, application window, but it's not showing that.
Oh, because do you have two screens?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you only have one screen? Do you have it open in like preview?
Mm-hmm. But it's not showing it in the list. But won't see it. Well, you know what? Look in the groups.
Are you trying to get the mug shot? Are you trying to get the mug shot?
Yeah, and I can't get it up here.
Oh, I can share it. I got it.
You can share it. Yeah,
I got it right here. Let me find my Gmail, because then I can.
I forgot you can do that. See, that's cool. That's one thing that's cool about this versus OBS. I mean, I guess if you're on Zoom, you could share, but it's nice that you can share your stuff.
Yeah, let me pull it up here.
Because I have many snafus, and sometimes I need some backup.
Well, that's what I was worried about today, because I was like, how are you going to
show the PDF?
Well, the PDF, I knew I could send that to you. I just didn't know about the let me pull this up. Boom, that should come up. Did that come up? You have to.
Yes, there it is.
I can make it smaller. I have it big, but
yeah, shrink it a little bit because it's cut off.
Yeah, I'll shrink it just a hair. Or it has her name.
Dude, look at her sideburns. What the fuck?
She looks pretty legit. Straight up.
She looks methed up.
She looked like she had a couple hard nights. Let's just put it that way.
Mm.
She had a couple hard nights in the.
Somebody get that girl some shampoo, for Christ's sake.
It's interesting. Ugh. She looked so much different in the pictures that we saw.
Oh my God!
Just a few months ago. It is.
It's crazy how much weight she gained.
It is. Oh, that girl.
MFer.
MFer. That's my name for her, because
I love that. We have Old Ma and we have MFer.
We have KK.
Crazy Frazee.
Oh, jeez.
Well, thanks, D-Wop.
That's fun.
It was nice talking to you.
I read all that stuff. I'm glad y'all.
No, it's nice to have a couple people to go around and read it, because man, you can't do that by yourself.
You made it to midnight, 2 straight hours. What a great show.
Yay! Thank you to all the new members. I have membership on here now.
Hey, well, why don't y'all slam over to mine when y'all are done?
Yeah, all right. Go get ready.
You can finish your show up.
Go get ready. All right, bye, D-Wop.
Exit.
All right. Woohoo. That made me quite big. So, yeah, we just went over the affidavit, the mental evaluation. We went over some extra info about Magen and what her stance is at this point. And her stance is that it's her baby. I don't know why I'm here. This is what she's telling her mother. And her defense team has said, stop calling her mom. So, assuming that her mother doesn't want to believe it either. I mean, what mother would want to believe that? But I do think that there is another person that was in that car. That eyewitness account was very detailed, very, very detailed. So I don't know why there's been no murder charges yet, but we'll find out. But we will keep you posted. We will keep following this case closely. And we'll bring you anything that comes in. So thanks for joining, you guys. Thank you to all the new members. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And I'm thinking that the DWAP baby bump video might be a Patreon or a membership event, should I say. So thank you again, and we will see you again soon. Take care. Stay safe. Bye.